Untamed is going to be untamed. It's going to be a little crazy. I want to talk to my people. I want to talk to my brothers and sisters. We can have grace and humility in how we interact with other people.
Oh, hot dog, look at you.
And nobody talked about what's really happening.
And let's have conversations about what truth is.
Part of the Republican Party.
That's right. Former Democrat, former liberal.
Yeah.
I was a liberal Democrat my whole life.
Is that because the bag has got so intense and so heavy that you got a whole nother, you up there with the elite now? Or?
Not even close, not even close. Democrats don't care about black people.
Okay,
and they don't care about people, they don't care about people of color. And the Republicans do, and that's the misconception.
And you know what? I agree with you 100%.
Thank you,
People
man.
don't know that the Democrats is the party of the KKK.
Yep.
People don't know that the Republicans are the party that freed the slaves.
Yep.
I mean, both of you and I have some conservative views. You just a little bit more outspoken about it than I am. And I honestly don't subscribe to neither party. I rock with W.E.B. Du Bois when he said there's no such thing as two parties. It's just one evil party with two different names.
Well, welcome back. It is Monday. There's so much to talk about. You know, we think about Republicans and Democrats, and people on the Democrat side said, okay, we're going to make this transition over to the Republican side because, you know, Democrats don't care about black people. Well, let me just back it up a little bit and ask you this question. Do you really think that it's a Democrat or Republican issue, or do you think that we're dealing with one party? And if you could destroy something, you can build it back up. You can give people hope. So it's this yin-yang, by the way, it's psychology. When you get close to the point where you're about to get caught for your misdeeds, you've got to create chaos, and you got to work with the other side and be like, that's like signal for, oh shit, we've been caught. So we are going to have to flip the script. And we face the same problem on the right side that you have on the left. We are captured by a group of people who basically just imagine this. Imagine having every single one of your football teams or football games stolen, just fixed. They know the outcome. And very few people are in on it. But the people that are in on it, they make money, like congressmen that trade stocks in the middle of the day. We have to get rid of the old. And it is old. And we have to bring in this new. And we have to get rid of self-serving leaders, and we've called them what they are. They're traitors to the people. And this is not a Republican problem. This is not a Democrat problem. It's very simple. They could have arrested everyone involved in the election fraud and done it months ago. And the only one in Washington that has an appetite for blood, true blood, is President Trump. Everyone else is doing the job, is so deathly afraid of the outcome that they're not willing to do what's necessary in order to preserve what the people want, which is accountability. You have this neocon, Lindsey Graham, who literally went down to Disneyland and I don't even know, I can't even put up the post, put it up. Lindsey Graham was spotted walking around the Magic Kingdom on Disney World alone while carrying a bubble wand, per TMZ. Why is a gay, childless septuagenarian walking around Disney solo, especially while carrying a child's toy? This is disturbing. This is unbelievable. While we're not in a complete shutdown right now, there is a partial shutdown that does specifically affect the Department of Homeland Security. The DHS, March 30th, 2026, there's a funding lapse that has lasted 45 days. And is now the longest partial government shutdown in U.S. history. So just to tell you what's affected by that, we have TSA, Coast Guard, FEMA, ICE, Border Patrol, Secret Service, USCIS, and CISA. So employees, especially TSA, are working without pay, and that means that you're seeing the longer wait times with the security lines. Meanwhile, we have our leaders that are out just taking a vacation. We can't get to the bottom of it. We can't. How many arrests have we had? How many? How many arrests? If you didn't catch it this morning, I was on Ryan Schuling's show at 6:30 KOA. And I was describing what I probably need to announce to you guys. The pulling out of one race and getting into another. And I'll tell you why in here in a minute. But Joe Kent was on Piers Morgan and talked about the Charlie Kirk shooting. And I've gotten flack from both sides for taking a position on this. And he's talking about the FBI. And everywhere we turn, we see more ineptitude. And as Americans, we know that if we did that in the private world, we would lose everything. People would look at us and say, you're not competent. But in the government world, they get to cover it up and take more money from us and tell us that they need more money. It's like a never-ending thirst, self-licking ice cream cone. Only we have to keep adding to the ice cream cone, and it just keeps licking it. Just keeps licking the ice cream cone, and we just say, give me more, give me more, give me more. It's an unquenchable thirst. And I hate being the conspiracy theorist. I hate it. I mean, they've called me that over the elections. Well, just so you know, we know the elections across the entire country are fraudulent. And we've seen the evidence. And we're not the smartest guys in the room. So what does that tell you when they're like, oh, I don't know, and they play stupid? You know what it tells me? You're complicit. If you're 5 years in and you don't know that the elections in this country are largely fraudulent, there's something wrong with you. Or you're either a retard or you're complicit. Those are the only two things you can be. You put your head in the sand and you watch as the American people become slaves, or you're complicit in it. And I'm Democrat, Republican, it does not matter. I hear the people online, they're like, oh, the elections are fine. I'm thinking to myself, you're not just wrong, you're so boldly wrong that standing against reform that brings back the voice of the American people means that you're just literally anti-American. But Joe said something that I think should shake you to the core. And he was in the apparatus. There's no difference between what Kent did and what the FBI whistleblowers or the CIA whistleblowers or me coming forward on Eric Coomer. It doesn't matter who it is. If you tell the truth, they're going to find a way to say that you're the wrong one, that you're the problem. It's not them. Show me one time that the government has come out and said, yeah, you caught me. You haven't. And what makes matters worse is that we're in such a free fall of degradation that it's so easy to see. Let's go ahead and play this. This is Joe talking to Piers Morgan.
And is your gut feeling that he did not act alone?
The potential of him having assistance, again, with the people saying they had pre-knowledge, with the people jumping up in the crowd and claiming that they were the one who took the shot, it does appear that there could be additional people that had pre-knowledge of it. I think that's about all that I can say on that. And again, from my vantage point in NCTC during the investigation, I don't believe that we were able to run down every single lead possible.
And in relation to possible foreign involvement, have you got any clarity about where that may have come from?
All I can say is that there was more work for us to be done in terms of the investigation itself, and so I just have to leave that there.
It's a lot, and I want you to know that that's under Kash Patel's watch. We're not talking about James Comey. We're not talking about anybody else. It's under Kash Patel's watch. And I got in an argument with someone today or yesterday. He's like, look, I don't want to publicly, just come out there and start screaming at you. And I was like, it's okay to have debate. I don't know why we're not allowed to have debate. We're not allowed to have differences of opinion. But let me tell you right now, the more I look at it, the worse it gets. We can see it. There's no way that this kid at 230 yards with a 30-06 shot Charlie Kirk. I haven't met one person that's a hunter, that really hunted, that understands guns, understands ballistics, understands what that round is designed to do. They would say, okay, you could depowder the gun, make it so that it had less grain. Well, then you couldn't fire it. So when you fire that round, there's a certain drop. You set the gun up for 230 yards. I mean, 200. Let's say you sight it in for 200 yards or 300 yards, let's say. The bullet's going to have a certain drop. It's going to have a certain trajectory. And here's the big part. It's going to go through the back of, I don't care if it's a neck or a metal plate. It's not stopping at the back of a target that's 6 inches deep. It's not even possible. And we had to point this out from the neighbors to our to the north. Man, Canada is, this is just the craziest thing I've ever heard. Speakers of the Democrat Party conference in Canada, they're going to argue over their gender equity cards. I kid you not, which allow them to skip the line to speak. We debate the ridiculous. We debate the retarded. And I have people right now that are getting mad at me. We're going to talk about that. Get mad at me for speaking truth and coming out there like, oh, yeah, Joe's got a sharp tongue. He said shit. And I think to myself, do you want authentic or you want the guy that hides? And in private, the only time that you'll ever hear it is in private, while he's playing on his phone with porn and running out doing all sorts of things on his family. Yeah, that's the epitome. The Jimmy Swaggarts of the world. Just let me see up front everything that I want you to see. Give me the image. Don't be authentic from end to end. Don't do that. And I call people out. I'm like, listen, I'm not giving up the R word. It's my word. Retarded. They're retarded. They're retarded. See, some people are born with deficiencies, right? And some people have an option not to be stupid, but decide they are. And by the way, the people that have disabilities, they're not stupid. So the retard word goes to the stupid. It doesn't go to the people out there that have disabilities. They're disabled. These people don't have an excuse for anything, and they're just stupid. Well, let's go ahead and play this. This is crazy. It's crazy. Go play it.
Thank you, Delegate. There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, Delegate.
Yes, hello. I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con...
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at con mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if that, this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
You're retarded. You're all fully retarded. You sit in there and debate the ridiculous and sit around like sniveling little, I don't even know what. It's not weak, it's retarded. You're retarded. I have a privilege card. All right, go wipe your ass with it. We want to sit around and we want to let things get degraded to a point where our kids have no opportunity because you have this happening, this disease. This isn't normal. I mean, look, this isn't like catching up with things. This isn't the 50s and we're just now trying to desegregate. You have pieces of trash that are out there trying to pee in litter boxes. People. And we're not allowed to call it mental illness. And you got other people that are out there on the Republican side that act like mean girls. And because I don't like bullies, and frankly, if you would lift the veil and say, okay, Joe, I'm going to come out there and I'm going to fight you in front of your office. Okay, great. And then when you get beat up, and you don't have to run to the cops and act like a little girl. You got beat up. We entered into this thing with mutual combat. And look, I don't want to fight anyone, but I don't want to get to this place where people get to act like mean girls and then run around and say, oh my gosh, Joe said something mean to me. You don't get to decide what is civil and what isn't civil. You don't get to create this environment and say, I have this card, therefore I get to trump you. That's not the way it works. And yet, it's how it works. And we see Canada coming to America. This is an infection around the entire world. And because they're stealing elections, they're allowing the retarded into these positions. And by the way, the weakness of this will lead to great amount of strife inside of our society. Here's what's happening in America. In Pennsylvania, covered a story last week about Mike and Steve on Friday. And we had Phil that came in a couple weeks before that. Now there's massive amounts of corruption going on in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is home for a people of what are you going to do about it? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, just so you know. I'm going to predict right now what's going to happen. You're going to have good people that do bad things to bad people, and it's not going to stop. You're going to see a bloodthirst, and they're not going to care about the cops, and they're not going to care about anything else. They're going to care about the fact that you have taken everything from them, and you've pinned them in a corner, and you've decided that you could take whatever you want at any time and use the courts to stand it up. Well, here's what's happening in Pennsylvania. Democrats in Pennsylvania withdrew a resolution to honor March as National Women's Month after a Republican asked them what a woman is. This is how absurd these people are. Go play it.
A battle over biology in battleground Pennsylvania, where state Democrats withdrew a House resolution honoring March as National Women's Month. All it took was a Republican lawmaker asking for a simple definition of what a woman is. The vote was expected to be quick and largely symbolic, but it was pulled after this awkward 25-second break.
Madam Speaker, this amendment is very straightforward and clear. It defines what a woman actually is, because we do know what that is. Thank you.
The resolution is temporarily over.
Now, there you go. They pulled the whole thing. The Republican who put forth the amendment says defining a woman as having double X chromosomes should not be controversial.
Well, that brings me to my guest. This guy is a warrior. And my guess is that he can see the same thing that I can. He's a Philadelphia-based patriot. And his name is John McAuley. I hope I got that right. He's a MAGA activist, founder of the grassroots movement Flip Philly Red. His campaign is to just flip deep blue Philadelphia to the Republican Party and restore common sense. We're going to show you who he is online, so you can definitely follow him. He's built a rapid platform, over 20,000 followers, calling out globalists, exposing corruption, and fighting for election integrity and American values. And remember what I said when I sat in that room with 300 Democrats, and they had the same problem that we had, and they were disappointed with what things. This is the same thing. When I saw the videos about who he was, when he stood up and was talking about this, I go, look, if he was walking down the street, everyone would be like, Democrat, look at that Democrat. He's not a Democrat. What he's trying to do is say, we have to have a party for the people. And my guess is he's probably just equally as frustrated with what the Republican Party is doing. And he says, I'm going to bring him over here to the Republican Party. Y'all are a mess. And the Democrats, y'all are a mess too. So we played this clip last week. And I'm going to play the clip, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring John on. Let's play that clip real quick.
My name is John Allante McAuley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to offer you something different because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. In regards to bill number 250330, or what's part of the Safe Healthy Homes Act, I would like to ask Philadelphia, are you tired of voting Democrat yet? This is what communism looks like. You work extremely hard to save your pennies, but buy some property and you can't dictate when you want to evict the tenant. Do you really own your property or not? But we know what Philly Democrat politicians love communism for, because they let Comrade Mayor Sherelle Parker raise the communist China flag in the birthplace of America. Tenants can already sue or simply move if it's a problem, but laws after laws scare away independent contractors and create more government-controlled housing. These laws breed entitlement, bad actors not paying rent, waiting for court dates, squatting on somebody else's property just like Governor Josh Shapiro is doing right now to his neighbors. To the landlords of Philadelphia, when you raise the rents higher up front to cover eviction hassles, I'll understand it. How are you going to tell a small business owner what to do with their own property? How many bad tenants have we seen? Always playing loud music, fighting and harassing neighbors, running drugs out of properties, doing drugs in someone else's property. Are you a small business owner or a caretaker? Are there tenants or are they your children? If the Department of Licenses and Inspections isn't serving good acting tenants properly, then we don't need new laws. We need to restructure the Department of Licenses and Inspections. Over 45 million taxpayer dollars proposed for L&I in fiscal year 2026, and they can't return a phone call? Racist Democrat President LBJ said, I'm gonna have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But you can change that in November. Stacey Garrity for governor.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Excuse me. Please don't use that language in these chambers. Have a wonderful day.
I'm not going to waste any more time. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Brother, I listen to your voice, and I'm like, most people feel it. They never say it. No matter where you go. You go on the street anywhere. I grew up in D.C., and I'm telling you right now, most people, black, white, it doesn't matter who you are, have been left behind. Do you think it's the same? I mean, you're now on the Republican side, and I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's just as dysfunctional, right? Would you say it's just as dysfunctional?
Yeah, because we're not playing to win. We're trying to lose, like we're losing on purpose. But
lose
I know,
gracefully.
Lose gracefully. But I know this side is not the side of insanity, but we're letting the side of insanity get back in power if we don't do what we need to do.
I need to hear about your personal journey, brother. Where you were born in Philly? You're born in that area? Where were you born?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here in Philadelphia, mostly in northwest part of Philadelphia. So a bit of a better part of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Every bit has its its parts. I lived a crazy life. I wasn't always clearly a conservative. I wasn't always clearly wearing this type of hat. I used to live a whole different life. So it's been a long journey.
Well, I'm just going to tell you that I sold drugs at 16. I was a good drug dealer too. I was really good. And, by the grace of God, I got out, had a great life. I've done really well, but I feel you. And I don't know what that part of your journey is, but it's good to see you on the other side, the light side.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right. So you're, how old are you?
I'm 38.
All right. And so you've stayed in Philly, and then how long ago did you start this journey of flipping Philly red?
Well, I joined Flip Philly Red. Like, I'm not the founder. The founder, her name is Nina Curls. I'm one of her top people. But I got on board in 2024. Like, my life started to change in 2020 when I got out of prison. I got out of prison June 2nd of 2020, like the height of COVID. Mm-hmm. And so when I tell this story real quickly. When I was in prison, this is like Trump's, obviously last year. And I was indifferent to him. I just thought he was the most entertaining person I've ever seen on TV. This is before I knew about globalist communism or any type of thing. I used to watch CNN or MSNBC, and I used to think I was informed. I used to watch Aaron Burnett, Anderson Cooper, Jake Tapper, Rachel Maddow, because I knew my friends didn't. I thought I was ahead of them. Yeah. But I didn't know. So I would call home and call my mom. I'm like, listen, Trump talking at 11 o'clock, or he's talking at 1 o'clock, turn it on. I just thought it was wrong. So I would have my cellmates watching it. We would just all be huddled around the TV eating food, because I never seen nobody call somebody fake news before. I never seen, and I don't care if you was watching Saturday Night Live, no matter what late night talk show, the conversation was always about President Trump. And so when I came home during the height of COVID, I live in Philadelphia. Everybody's saying get the COVID shot. Is there no pushback here? There's no patriots here. There's no real Philly GOP here. So my church is saying get this shot. Oh, you see, there's nobody. If you have a small segment saying don't do it, but so I got 2 of the Pfizer shot. I was a sheep at the time. But so during that course of
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah,
so to get you some stuff to get that stuff out of you. We gotta.
Yeah, I'm a workout warrior though, so like I don't, I should be good. I'm pretty healthy, and so during that time, I started looking at where I was at in my life, the type of man I am, where I want to go, and how I'm gonna get there, and I realized that the hedonistic life that I was living, smoking weed, selling drugs, like, before me getting locked up and going to strip clubs, just being in the streets, it wasn't producing the outcomes that I wanted. But all of that, I started realizing politics play a part in how I'm thinking, how I'm moving, and how I see life. So I started looking at different influences that were conservative or different masculine men as well that was, teaching about discipline and stoicism and how to be as a man. So I started embracing that. And it got me to this journey where you see me at now, speaking up at city council meetings.
Well, so let's talk about. Can I go back to your journey real quick? So let me just tell you, I've worked with the Dream Center that helps men that get out serve 10 years of a 20-year sentence. I probably hold the record for somebody that burned their number fastest after getting out. You know what that means, right? And before that, it was young men, right? I played football with gang members. I've been the guy that spent the last 20 years saying to myself, the difference between me and them is that I never got caught. Right. So, and I turned my life around long time ago, but tell me about that journey. I think that's important. That's the scarlet letter, by the way, that everyone wants you to wear.
Right. Oh yeah. So, so in prison, before I went upstate, I was in county jail. And so everybody crack jokes all the time. And I tell this story because this is my story. This is, they say, why do you wait to prison till you finally want to get close to God? I don't know. That's just how it happens. Sometimes you have to be at your lowest. Yeah. And so I cracked open that Bible. And so, it sounds cliche, but, I'm more of a New Testament guy. That's just how I am. And, the Old Testament is fine, but it was the New Testament that was speaking to me. So I started really working on my spirit. I tell people this. And I didn't know, because like when you're in prison, you're detoxing from whatever you was taking out on the streets, whatever traumas you was going through. Like you said, you was good at what you did, so I was pretty good too. So people talk about, the money or the trips you take in a woman, but they don't talk about the drama, whether you might be in shootouts, your life might be in danger. So you're going through all of that trauma. And when you're in prison, you're detoxing, and now you're going through everything that you just was going through that could have taken your life one way or another. So my nightmares were so real, so surreal. I didn't know if God was punishing me or the devil was just messing with me. So I had to crack open that Bible and get my mind right. And so when I got upstate, I started running every day in the yard. I'm running 6-7 miles a day. And the guards, they looking at me like, this guy, I'm in the mountains in Pennsylvania, and it's cold. And, every morning I'm out there 6 o'clock in the morning running 6-7 miles. And I just knew I had a date when I was coming home. I knew I wasn't doing life. Once I knew I was doing 3.5 years was my minimum. And so I said, when I come home, I'm going to become driven. I was pissed off. I had, of course, the same sad story. Friends fall off, women that you used to deal with, they move on, get pregnant, get married, all of this stuff. A lot of things are said about you. So I just had this focus when I came home that I'm going to be everything that I thought I could be. I'm going to make my mom proud. I'm going to make my last name mean something. It's a such thing as having good pride, and we don't talk about that enough. Pride comes with a negative connotation, and I think the problem with society today is we don't talk about, people are not ashamed of anything, especially in my community. We talk about where we are offended by everything, but ashamed of nothing in my community specifically. And I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be a man with excuses. So I just started changing the way I live. And then I got in 2024, I have a podcast and I interview a conservative, not conservative, an activist. She's a Democrat, actually. I loved it so much. She invited me to City Hall to speak in front of these children. They had like a school shooting incident. And so I did a 2-minute speech. It wasn't prepared. It was off the cuff. I loved it so much. I said, I want to be involved some more. What else can I do? She invites me to an event in North Philadelphia that's supposed to be a bipartisan event, but there's no real Republican Party here in Philadelphia. So it was about 2 Republicans at this event full of Democrats. But this one guy that was a Republican, he happened to approach me. He was a campaign manager in the year 2024 for somebody that was running for Congress. I could tell in the first few seconds of that conversation that he was different. He invites me to this town hall that Congressman Dan Muser was at. I didn't know who Dan Muser was. I didn't know, how important this guy was. Or, they said he's a congressman. That's not the team that I was a part of. It was a guy that was running in Philly. But he didn't have a successful campaign. President Trump endorsed him at the first MAGA rally I ever went to. So to answer your question, to bring this to a head, when I was a Republican on paper in 2023 because I realized that the Democrat Party didn't offer the type of things that I needed to become the man that I wanted. But I wasn't sure about this MAGA thing still. I still was listening to fake news a little bit. They're telling me they're racist. It's a big thing in my community. So I get invited to my first Trump rally in the summer of 2024. He comes to the Leopold Center. And so when I went to this rally, it was some of the nicest people I've ever seen in my life, I've ever met. These are people that look like, they're fresh off the set of Sons of Anarchy. You got people that, you got your bikers there.
Yeah.
You got your people that look like Raleigh Gaines, that look like Charlie Kirk. You got your middle-aged white men that look like they're fresh off the set of Seven. It didn't matter what they look like. These were some of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. And so from that moment on, to answer your question, I knew God was saying, listen, you want to be somebody, you want to have a voice in life, you want your last name to mean something, I'm going to use you and your influence. You're going to go to your community and show them, whether it's culturally or politically, everything that you've been told is a lie. And ever since then, I've been on that mission to flip Philly red.
So flipping Philly red, I think what you're trying to say is we need to figure out, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, right? I just...
Yeah, sure.
You could become just as disenfranchised if things that are red don't actually do what they're supposed to do for the people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so we have these football teams, and, gangs, you have the Bloods and the Crips, you'll have the GDs, right?
Yeah.
It's, you name it, it's there, right? And you're still in your community, so the same people that you hung out with then, some of them are looking at you like you're a little crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you have 2 jobs now. You have to convince them that, Happy Homemaker and the Charlie Kirk's the sit in line with the old guy with the bigger belly. Those are good, and that's fine. Yeah. You can trust them, and we can come together, and we can, these are actually really good people. You got to convince them, and then you also have to bring them Jesus. And man, whew.
Yeah, it's a tall order.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tall order. It's a tall order. I tell people this because I was listening to you speak right before you introduced me, and because it's a lot of apathy with the Republican Party, right? I'm not saying that this side is like President Trump when he first said I'm going to run. He thought about should I start my own party or not because he knew how messed up things were. But he knew he didn't have the time. And he necessarily maybe didn't have, could pull all the money together. So he said, I'm just going to remake the Republican Party in my name. Yes. So, yes, this side has a lot of issues, but we don't have the time. We knew 2024 was a must win. We know 2026 and 2028 are must wins. If we don't win this, then our Constitution, they're not following the Constitution as is anymore. Right. But if we don't fight for our sovereignty now, then the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, the UN, NATO, all of these crazy, batshit crazy globalists, it's over. Yeah. So we have to remake the Republican Party for what it was intended to be.
So I want to build on what you just said. Yeah. President Trump is the epitome of what the Republican Party should be.
Yes.
John Thune and Mike Johnson and all these people, they're the Republican Party that he was considering replacing with a new party. And those people have a death grip along with the Democrats in power. And both of them are working together to basically destroy the people. So making the Republican Party the people's party, I mean, I'm facing it right now in Colorado. I'm running for I was running for governor, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to negotiate with the guys that are running for governor. I'm going to step out. I'm going to run for the county or the state chair. I'm going to come in. I'll just fix the whole thing. I will just literally strip it down.
Right.
But the people that I'm fighting are the Mike Johnsons and the Thunes that are like, okay, I have to look nice and talk nice, while they're like over here putting a 4-inch shank in the side of people. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Trying to kill off the idea of what it means to be about your community, to be about, and I'm not talking about black community, white community. I'm talking about our community, our brothers and sisters that are suffering every single day while we step over our American brothers and sisters and hand entitlements like free healthcare, free childcare to foreigners, right? To people from other countries. It has nothing, this replacement theology that you're talking about with WHO and the World Economic, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And people can feel it, but they think it's, the Democrat Party said, no, it's just the white people. The white people over there, the Republicans, they're the ones doing it to you, right?
Right.
When in actuality, they're the ones doing it. They're doing it.
For sure. It's a tall order for all Americans to try to fight because we're constantly fighting President Trump's positions. Then we're trying to educate the normies. And I got to tell the people in my community, I'm separating it because they'll point out something that Thune or Mike Johnson or Lindsey Graham, one of these neocons or whatever they're trying to do. Yeah. And I'm trying to separate them from the patriots, the people that's on the ground, the grassroots. Like, listen, it's two different worlds. And trying to explain that, okay, they want to continue the Biden level era spending. In the one big beautiful bill, for example, how they held that hostage, and they get mad at President Trump for this. President Trump had to get his policy plans. He had to get that through. The things to get some wins, to get some political power through, and they kept the spending going. And once again, before you brought me on, they talked about how they're not trying to fund DHS, and because of that, they want the ICE rescission, and all of this crazy stuff. So the battle's never ending. It's every day. Like, I don't get motivated for this. This has just been part of my life, trying to save the country, to do my little part, to try to be a part of the bigger pie. Like, I'm up. Like, I spend 18 hours a day. If I'm not at work, in between work, I'm doing this. I'm messaging. I'm running for a GOP state committee. I'm running for the county chairman position in my area because my county chairman is a rhino. But you start talking to people like you, and you see how this is systemic across the whole country, how the GOP is waiting President Trump out. And this is the monumental battle that we're facing here in America.
My brother.
Yeah. Every day I'm swinging the sword.
So this is, I said this in Colorado. I'm going to go hunt young people, and I'm going to go to the deepest part of Denver and Aurora. I'm going to recruit every single black and brown family out there. I'm going to fundamentally change everything about the Republican Party because they have those conservative values, right?
Yeah, for
they
sure.
don't want their kids, and by the way, I don't care if you're purple, right, with web feet. Don't care. What I care about is, are you willing to stand up for the people in your community? Can we set aside all the bullshit that we're fighting each other on and just focus on being tactical, right? Tactical excellence. We got to make sure we roll things back, give the voice back to the people, have transparent elections, make sure that when you go to Congress or you go to you're at the town council member, you represent the people and you represent the people well. Be loved by your community, because no matter how popular it is with the lobbyists and special interests, you're willing to do right by your brothers and sisters in your community. You're willing to do those things. And so, but I got yelled at. And they're like, oh, Joe, you just want to bring in all these Democrats. You must be a Democrat. No, I want a people's party. I want us to stop being divided by social issues. And I want to give people other options and opportunities so they don't live in deserts. And we have, yeah.
One of the problems is a lot of people don't even know how President Trump really won. And so he won with a coalition of Democrats, independents, and Republicans. It wasn't just Republicans that got him in office.
Speak, baby, speak.
You got Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat, RFK, Democrat.
Bobby, yes.
These people are Democrats at heart. They're just not batshit crazy. And so the problems that we have in Philadelphia is like, when we use these buzzwords, socialism, communism, and things like that, we got racism. Like, so a lot of people don't even, the isms, right? Capitalism. So they never lived in a true communistic, state or place like that. So they don't even know what it's like or what. So when you see me at city council, I'm strategically trying to, in 2 minutes, whatever the agenda is, show you that this is what communism looks like. It starts out with socialism, and then eventually you're going to have no control, no power, no say. You're going to have government-run housing. You're going to have government-run grocery stores, and you're not going to have a say in your healthcare. None of this stuff. And so, while they have you distracted with, is this person racist or not? Okay, I'm constantly trying to explain. I have to teach history, real history. Yes, when you talk about the issues and how this task is such a tall order, I had to get by just whether these people hate your skin color or not, because you got mainstream media all day, every day, the hip hop culture, the hip hop community, the blogs. This is what they have implemented. I tell people, I've never been a slave. I've never been through segregation. I don't know what Jim Crow feel like. Why? I'm only 38. Why is that my identity? I've never been whipped. I've never had it so easy in America to go after whatever I wanted to go after. I don't need DEI. I don't need policies rolled back for. So all of this divisiveness that President Obama came in with, and he blew up, the nuclear family and embracing all this. So when you talk about social issues in Philadelphia, that's a huge thing because they have taken over our school boards. They have made it normal to where you got men who think that they are women, who dress up as women, reading books to children. And people are accepting that, the insanity of that. You got them raising the China, you heard me say that, the China Communist flag down at the birthplace in City Hall, the birthplace of America. Philadelphia created the longest LGBTQ flag. I don't have a problem with gay people. You want to, that's your life? That's your life. You and God handle that when y'all handle that. I'm a conservative. I believe in man and woman. I believe in the traditional marriage. But you live how you want to live.
Well,
Do we need to parade that to the masses? Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
No. I just want to put a pin in what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Accepting people where they are, not where you want them to be, is a true tenet of being a Christian. Right?
Yeah.
You have to love them where they are. I mean, one of my best friends is a gay married Jewish father of two. Right? He is a father to two boys. He's married to a woman, but he is as gay as a gay. Like if there was ever a fight that you had to have, but he's been my business partner for 14 years. He's been my friend for that entire 14 years. But I've seen him move from loving Bernie Sanders to libertarian because I've been consistent in my character, and I've loved him where he is, not where I want him to be. Right? And that's made a difference in his life and in my life.
Yeah, for sure. I try to definitely put that in there because, like, we work with people, who live that lifestyle as well. They're around us every day. I don't hate somebody because of your choices, but it's how they have co-opted or how they have infiltrated whatever their fights was, and made this a thing to where we're using this to attack children now.
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep that separate, and that's just part of the ongoing fight, and I just, it's never ending.
Yeah, so let's when you're out there speaking to the community, how's your success rate? I mean, how do you feel? I mean, because remember, there's a saying, hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
So you're trying to convince people of things, and they're hurting, man. Brother, there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain. Philadelphia, man, they can't tell where the betrayal's coming from. It could be coming, going. It could be a cop. It could be a parking lot attendant. You could be putting a boot on the car. Anything could be happening.
Well, it's about 30%, 25% of the population minds will never change. You know this. You got you just showed the lunatics. What was it, Canada or something? Where they holding up these stupid cards. These people are lost. I'm not trying to change their mind. It's the person who's trying to learn from afar that has discernment, and he's listening to me, He's listening to this person over here, and somewhere he's going to say the truth, somewhere in the middle or closest to this guy. I'm going to go over here, right? And I believe if the SAFE Act is implemented, you'll see places like Philadelphia or Chicago turn red. It's more people, I don't care if they're Democrat, Libertarian, whatever they are, it's people that understand common sense. And that's all this MAGA has been about, is just common sense.
So, by the way, I grew up in an interracial family.
Yeah.
And so as a result of that, you would not be mortified, because you probably know what I'm talking about, but you wouldn't want to come over for dinner because we're very irreverent to each other about everything. Politics, race, religion. I mean, we'll make fun of everybody, including ourselves.
Right.
We're really good at it.
For sure.
When you talk about the SAVE Act, they are standing on a stage and they're with a straight face saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You don't know how to have an ID, and your hands are broken, and you can't. You're over here trying to pick stuff up. I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah. I told City Hall, this one of my other. I said I needed an ID to come to City Hall today. When all these people you're trying to keep on welfare, how do you think they got welfare? They had to show ID to get welfare. To get food stamps, you got to have ID. To go into the liquor store, you got to have ID. So you think a segment, and you got people like what's his name? His name is escaping me right now. The Democrat guy, not Hakeem Jeffries, the other one.
The other. Are you talking about Schumer? Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer. He's how this is going to disenfranchise the black community. You mean to tell me somebody don't know how to go into the DMV, to go to the PennDOT or whatever they call it, and get a license? A married woman, she don't know how to. If you want to go get a passport, these things that you have to do is protocol. You don't deserve to vote if you don't know how to do these things at all. Like, I don't even want you voting if you can't figure out how to get an ID. But this is where we at, and this is you got 84% of Americans approve of the SAVE Act. 76% of Black Americans approve of the SAVE Act. You mean to tell me, John Thune, you cannot whip 9 votes over, or just nuke the filibuster, forget the votes? You won't just drill everything through and pass the America First agenda? Yes. We got to get him out. We got to get him out.
He's a traitor. He's a traitor to the people.
He's a traitor.
But there's so many traitors, John. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like a candy cane. It doesn't matter if it's blue or red. That candy cane is literally betraying the people. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Either side doesn't care about the people. They want to make us all slaves. And if you give the voice back to the people, you see what happens. Our entire country will turn around. These cats that are trying to pee in litter boxes in classrooms, that will all disappear.
Yeah.
And the
so to your point,
of a woman will be easy.
To your point, it's as how do you walk this line, right? I've seen President Trump going on this 14 months now in his second time running his second term, and he's trying not to let it all burn down, because you got people who are like, why hasn't anybody been arrested? I heard you speak about this.
I did that.
Right? Why hasn't people been arrested from the Epstein situation, from people from the auto pen situation, from Fauci situation? There's so many people from Russia, from Obama orchestrating the Russian collusion hoax. It's such a long line of people, of Democrats and Republicans, who should be in handcuffs right now. And so you got voters who voted for this stuff. You got people, like you just talked about, John Thune not implementing the SAVE Act. So how do you not let it all burn down and tell people to still vote red? That is such like the hardest dance to try to navigate.
Yep.
As we go into the midterms right now, and that's the problem that I'm facing right now here in Philadelphia.
Well, you're trying to tell them that, hey, listen, we Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can burn it down in a day. They're trying to burn it down in a day. So we're going to make progress. We're going to take whatever progress we can take. I think the greatest fear there is right now, and this is a problem because I talk to people in D.C. that I've known for 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And I talk to people in the community, and they're all like, Joe, if the Democrats come in and did what they did when Biden came in, I mean, these are doctors, lawyers. These are people that are, I mean, both sides.
Yeah.
Both gang members. I'm talking to all of them. They're like, if he comes in and does it again, all bets are off, man. We're going to take everything from him. I mean, you hear that thought that's out there, and
I've said that.
Desperation breeds this.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not. I don't want to speak with hyperbole. I don't want to put Mrs. Dash on the food that needs to more than needs to be.
Yeah.
But this is a real thing. If they thought, and we all know about J6 and how you had to undercover FBI people on the ground to make that situation. We all know that Nancy Pelosi, what she did, not bringing in the National Guard and turning down help that President Trump was trying to implement. We know all of that. But if you thought that was something, if you thought that was a spectacle, if they're going back to telling the American people that grandma has to be in a hospital room and die alone, if they're telling people you have to put these needles in your arm, if they're telling you we're taking your gun rights away, if they're telling you that there's 72 genders and we're going to allow men to read books to dress as women and men and women's sports, if they're telling you all of this, I don't know what this country is going to look like or where it's going to go, because there's a lot of people on both sides of the gang aisle that's not going to have it. It's not going to end up good. And so they need to get the SAVE Act passed if y'all want to keep this country together.
Well, and it's taken it up to a place where we know what's going to happen in the midterms, and the Democrats are already saying what they're doing. So it leaves guys like you and me that have lived that life. And there's a lot more of us, John. There's a lot more of us that have lived that life.
Yes, sir.
You don't want that. You don't want that thing that's on the right shoulder to come back up, right?
Yeah.
But
for certain. Because I live a different life. So it's like you don't want that, like that. Because when you live that life, it's not a line you're not willing to go if you feel that you're in the right. Or if you feel that this is part of your convictions,
right?
Like I tell people, if I was doing the wrong thing, I did it to the best of my ability.
Yes.
If I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing it to the best of my ability, and I believe in my ability. So I'd rather be doing it, on this side of the fence, and let's just keep this. You get what I'm saying?
This is what people don't understand, and we're having this conversation where we're dancing around a little bit, but brave men, courageous men who find the Lord are capable of great violence, right?
Yes.
And because you're capable of it doesn't mean you will. You're just trying to warn people that we will not be victims. We will not, the fact that you couldn't punk us over here has nothing to do with the fact that you will not punk us over here. And most people don't understand that unless you've lived that life, unless you've made the choice to live with Jesus, right? But you're still capable of doing the same stuff. Like you still have you still have the ability to now use it to favor God, right?
Exactly. You're saying something important right there. It's because they had this false. I say the word they, and it's very vague, right? Yeah. But it's this perception in America that Christians are soft, men are soft, they're not capable of fighting or whatever. Me and you are the total, the total opposite end of that. Yeah, it's like, no, listen, Jesus wasn't some frail, weak, skinny white guy with long hair that looked feminine, like they, paint him to look. Yeah. Jesus is a warrior. If you think the guy that's going to come down and put Satan and kill him in the hellfire, if you think that's some frail, weak man, then you're insane. He is a Spartan. He is a warrior, and we're made in his image and likeness.
Yes.
So I got every bit of that fire to withstand evil, to withstand because all of the stuff we're seeing is demonic. The push for the abortions, the push to tell children they can puberty blockers, hormones, putting needles and knives to our children and trying to say that that's normal for them to get their private parts cut off. All of this insanity. It's nothing short of demonic.
You're like my brother from another mother.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sitting here, and most people don't understand it. There are hunters and there are gatherers. We've built an entire world of feminine gatherers as men. They're like, well, what can I do? I can't do anything. Well, when you put enough men like you and I together, and we're doing it for righteous things, people need to go back and read the Bible, and not just the parts, the verses that are convenient for them, right? But evil has never gone back into the hole without force. It's not like, okay, I found you, you're evil, and it's like, oh, you caught me, I'm going to go back over here and hide because now you know I'm evil, right? Team evil is like, all right, what are you going to do about it? And then they're like, but I'm going to hide behind these laws. I'm going to hide behind these politicians. I'm going to hide behind stolen elections. I'm going to hide behind, you see all the hide behinds? And what they've done is that they've stripped our entire ethos from us and said, by the way, it's terrible to be an American. This is an oppressive country. And they've created this conflict inside of us where we don't know what to believe because the media is telling us one thing, they're telling us all these different things. And then we wake up and we're in droughts, we're in deserts, opportunity deserts, food deserts, education deserts. These are real things. And they do it on purpose in order to destroy the ability for men to stand together.
It's an excellent point. I've made this point on other platforms. I said, in the history of time, things that either happen or not happen because of what men were willing to do about it.
Right.
And so what they started doing, they started destroying man. And you asked, this is very at the beginning of this podcast. We were talking about my journey, and so I lived a hedonistic life. And this is what they do to men. They get men addicted to porn. They get men out of shape, not caring about what they're eating. You know, their sugar intake, all of this stuff. I love football. I'm an Eagles fan. I love sports. I used to argue all day up to the sun about stats and numbers. I knew all of the. I knew it all. But I realized I was a slave to it. It's just like what Rome used to do, distracting, everybody with the gladiators back in the day, if you know your history. So I said that I'm giving too much of my time to football and basketball. I care too much about women I love women. You get what I'm saying? But I'm giving too much of my time to, stuff that just don't matter. I'm not disciplined enough. I'm not structured enough. And so when you got weak men, they can't rebel. They can't fight back against the tyrannical government. We talk about why do y'all care so much about your guns to fight back against your tyrannical government? That's why. And so, you're trying to, educate the normies, and you're trying to create this culture of men and give them structure and discipline to fight back. Because the war is here.
We're in it. I mean, we're literally in the hot part of the war against evil. And it is against evil. It's not, I mean, it's you said it, it's good versus evil. And in the middle of all that, they want us to be civil to evil. They want you to negotiate with it. They want you to compromise with evil. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't compromise with evil. I don't stand on the side of the devil, not even for a half a step. I'm out.
Yo, you is spot on right now. You really is my brother right now. So, I tell people this. I don't want to talk about tariffs. I don't care about no rescission bill, no reconciliation. I don't care about none of this stuff if you can't define what a woman is. Let's start there. If you can't tell me how many sexes there are,
resign.
I don't want to talk to you about tariffs and border policy. Well, I want to talk. You're crazy. That's a non-starting point for me.
So this is this is the reason why I had to have you on. I saw that one clip and I was like, find him.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to do, you have to find him. Yeah. So how do we stand together? So I was in Chicago for the Flip Chicago Red. I met with all the members there, which by the way, they're gang members and they're still cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're I mean,
they're Americans.
This is the part, but see, I know this, but I try to convince other people of this. So I've got a men's group, and we call it the Brothers, and we're growing really quickly. And we get together and we just talk. Yeah. And there are guys in there that are felons. There's like 6 or 7. One went to prison for 34 years, just got out a year ago. Loves the Lord, works on getting people off the street. And works in this organization that my ex-brother-in-law ran. Yeah, and he was in prison, and so these guys are in there. He went to prison for 34 years for killing a pedophile that that assaulted his 3-year-old niece, right? Chased him across states, and he doesn't regret one bit of it.
Good job. Yeah. Right? Thank you. Yeah.
Right? So we have guys in there, and we have guys that are doctors and lawyers and a judge.
All walks of life. Yeah.
All walks of life. And to see these men stand together, John, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Because the eyes are open to what you just said. They're Americans. They're our brothers and sisters. And the Bible does not break it down and say wear a scarlet letter. It says don't wear a scarlet letter. Right? Jesus said, listen, those without the first stone or first sin cast the first stone. And I believe he was standing in front of them, like writing out what they were doing. Like, you're addicted to porn. You cheat on everyone. I mean, and so he was revealing it. And so we've got to find a way to forgive each other, love each other, and that's what they don't want. They don't want that.
Yeah, they don't want this right here. I mean, you talking, and then we're gonna put this out for everybody. I know you do this live, but we chop it up, run reels. But when other men, like I said, with discernment, and women too, people with discernment can sit there and listen to it. These people sound like closer to the truth, you know, and this can reach hundreds of thousands of people, just like that. Just like you saw my clip come across your algorithm. So, just like that, you can make change. So more of this is, how we do what we do.
Well, so what I'd like to do is connect you to a few people that I have that are in different states that are doing some of this. That I think we've got to start building what they don't want, building this fraternity, and creating this brotherhood that I think, and this has kind of been my goal. Like, how do we build a brotherhood that matters, right? That we're actually doing the things that we're doing, but you call me at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like, hey, I need you here by 9. I'm on the next plane. Boom, there.
Right, for sure.
Right?
Yeah. Looking after each other. I'm
coming to Philly to meet your founder. So I'm gonna make that
be awesome
in the next couple of weeks. And I kind of want to sit down and see how we can get Chicago together and look at what's happening. I mean, Baltimore's in real trouble. Real trouble. The people there have no hope. Schools are terrible. Kids are dying on the street from touching stuff that has fentanyl on it. I'm talking like elementary age kids walking to school, put their hand on a banister, it's got fentanyl on it, they're falling over and dying. It is unbelievable what's happening in our inner city. We got to figure out a way to solve the problem because the government can't.
Right.
Solve the problem.
Government is broken. Yeah, for sure.
So, all right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I'll give you the final word. You can give people some wisdom, drop some wisdom on them, and then tell them how they can find you.
Right, I appreciate that. Like you had mentioned, Chicago Flips Red. I've been in contact with Zoe and Danielle, and so like we're supposed to link up in the summertime as well. So we would love for you to come out into Philadelphia, guys. To everybody that's watching, to everybody that will see this, just do your small part. Not everybody can do everything, but whatever you have time to dedicate to your country, your sacrifice, it's important, and it's important to keep the sovereignty of our country going. This is what our founding fathers fought for. It's our time now, and we won't get another crack at this. It's do or die, and it's that serious. So thank you for having me on your show. You can find me at Allante McAuley, ALLANTEMCAULEY, across all platforms.
Awesome. You got a Truth Social account?
Yes, I do. Right. It's the same thing on all platforms. I'm on Truth, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you get your content, I'm there.
All right. Brother, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on. I want to have you back on again.
Certainly.
I want to promote what you're doing. I want to see if I can help you. I'll send some money to the movement. I'm that guy. So let's figure out a way to help you. You're going to run for some of these chairs, county chairs and things like that.
Yeah, I'm running for county chairman, GOP county chairman in Philadelphia, and I'm running for GOP state committee as well.
Awesome. Well, brother, I just appreciate your heart, and man, I'm so glad that the Lord found you, because
thank you.
I know what happens when that happens, and you take a man that's strong, and you give them the fire. It's hard. They're never going to be able to take you off it.
Yes, sir. I'm there. I'm with you.
All right. God bless you, brother. Thanks, John. I'll talk soon.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
That's my guy. That guy's amazing. You guys don't even understand what just happened and who he is. You don't understand his journey, and you should take the time to learn about it. The reason why I say that is because if you want to know what's going to save our country, it is not going to be the ones that stand up there, polished, ties, the John Thunes of the world, right? Those guys are the ones that are the detractors. They're working for the bad side. It's going to be people like John. It's going to be people like him. I pray it's people like me. I pray it's people like you that recognize the fact that we have to stand together in solidarity. We have to do what's right by our people. And our people are, by the way, they're not Christian and Muslim and Buddha. It's not, we're not separated. It's the ideals, it's the ethos of what it means to be an American and making sure that we do things to protect our communities. Protecting our communities is not letting rabid, radical, leftist devils teach our kids about cutting off their penis. That's not what our ethos is. I tell you what, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I got an announcement I need to make to you, and then I'm gonna kind of tell you the why, but and then I'm gonna we'll go through a bunch of things. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Joe, Supreme Leader of DCF Guns. What is DCF Guns, you ask? We're the best damn gun store and range in the universe. Do we have guns? We have all the guns. We got small guns. We got big guns. We even have beastly guns. We offer all types of training, and we have 5 ranges across our 3 locations. I'm a good shot. And of course, we have all types of ammo. We even have flamethrowers. Woo! We offer incredible membership opportunities, and members save even more on guns, ammo, and accessories. Come join the DCF family today, where we keep the range hot and the deals hotter. It's hot. In every thread, in every stitch, Honor-Bound USA weaves the fabric of the American spirit. It's not just apparel, it's a testament to God, family, and country. At Honor-Bound USA, we're a family of patriots who put our faith, family, and America first. When you visit our website, you'll find a line of products that embody our commitment to pray, stand, speak, and act. As the official site for the Untamed podcast, all of our products proclaim speaking the truth with courage. We also have the powerful documentary from Professor David Clements, Let My People Go. Identify yourself as one of the few who are willing to stand for what they believe in. Join the Honor-Bound USA family today. Wear it as a badge of honor, commitment to the values that shape us, and a pledge to the bright future we will build together. Because when you're honor-bound, you're not just wearing a brand, you're embodying a lifestyle. All right, so I spend an enormous amount of time praying about this, and people go, Joe, how do you cuss in a podcast and then pray afterwards? Easy. I try not to curse. I do. Sometimes I just get a little bit upset, passionate about the damage that's done to people. I can actually see it. I can see it very clearly. Imagine going to sleep at night, all you're trying to do is solve problems and work problems that really don't affect you at all. And you got people that attack you and bully you, and so you punch back. And you call them what they are, because you can see it. And yet they sit there and then they come back and say, that I victimized them. That I'm less of a Christian because I cussed. And they point to it and say that, oh, real Christian has the Holy Spirit. You can't cuss if you have the Holy Spirit. I keep thinking to myself, who made all these rules? And the rules are made to control you and to stop you. And I don't like how I feel when I say a certain word, but I understand that I've got this frustration that is overwhelming. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for some of you as well. So I'm just real. I'm authentic. And you know what? I'd rather tell you what I'm thinking in the moment than hide it and sit up here and just smile and nod and do this. While behind many of these people is just a nefarious lifestyle. Just bad people. So what do you get? You find out later that all these people were on Epstein's list, and some of them were Republicans and Democrats, and they smiled and they nodded, and you have people that are inside of our party and other parties, and you have pastors that talk about, more morality, and yet they're out there, banging some little kid. And somewhere along the line, you want to hold me responsible for the fact that for 6 years, I have wielded a sword and I have gone out and I have fought relentlessly for people in my community, my state, and this country. Over 900 flights. And you want to tell me that oh yeah. Somebody said this today, this Daniel guy, I don't even know what his name, Daniel Leonard guy from Colorado Springs, came in here, did an interview with me. And he said I didn't get back to him fast enough giving him a job at DCF. I was dealing with some things. And he's like, oh, well, you're not my brother anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, beat it. But he goes out and he says that I treated a woman poorly, which I didn't. And he said that I did this and I did that. It's the same thing. It just never stops. And it comes from the people that you would expect it to come from. Weak, pathetic people who just make up stories as it goes along. But then when I call them out, they start crying and whining and acting like little children. That's why I tell them to take a seat. Go rub some dirt in it. If politics is about hiding truth, and if doing the right thing is only if it's surface deep. In other words, you have to smile and nod and say you're not. No, people are tired of that. You know what people want? They want things to get fixed. They don't want status quo anymore. They're done with status quo. So a week and a half ago, I told you that I met with Barb Kirkmeyer, Scott Bottoms, Jason Meixel. It's like a week and a half ago. It's no secret that I've been on team Scott Bottoms. I love Scott Bottoms. I have loved him since the beginning. He's a pastor. He's a Navy corpsman. He was in the legislature for 4 years. And when people say he's a pastor, I'm like, listen, he has a church. And he goes and he talks to people about what it means to have morality. He never closed down his church during COVID. But he's defined by the talents that he has and the things that he's been able to accomplish at the State House for the last 4 years, and the things that he's been able to nurture through and make successful over the last 20 years of running a church. Doesn't preclude him from being a governor. It actually would make him an exceptional governor. But I met with Kirkmeyer too, and she's very nice. And I met with Jason Meixel, very nice. But I wanted to feel them out on where they were in policy, because frankly, I was the most I don't want to be governor candidates in the world. I entered the governor race because no one would talk about the policy things that were important to me. They wouldn't talk about getting rid of property tax. They said, you're crazy, you can't do it. I'm like, yes, you can. You can make it more equitable for the people in the state. Equitable meaning that you pay your fair share. That's what it's all about, paying your fair share, which is capitalistic and it's socialist. Look at it, both sides. Right? Both sides win. Make it consumption-based. And stop holding on to people's property and making them a slave to the state. So anyway, I put together this entire deal and I met with them. And then I was like, okay, I think all three of them, I think one of two, I don't think Meixel has a chance to win anything. But out of the other two, Barb Kirkmeyer and Scott Bottoms is my choice. And I think he has a really good shot. So I withdrew from the GOP governor's race on Saturday. I withdrew. I felt confident with what I'd heard from them. I've got their endorsement on my side. And so I said, their endorsement, Scott endorsed me. I haven't asked Barb yet fully, and I haven't asked Meixel to endorse me, but I assume they would. But I entered the chair race for the Colorado GOP, an organization that is fundamentally broken in every way, shape, and form. It's broken. Like there is no, it's partially broken. No, it is 100% broken. Broken all the way to the end. And so I got a lot of flack. I got people that came out and said, oh yeah, there couldn't be a worse person to run it. So I wrote this Facebook post. And let's put it up. And before I start reading it, I just want you to know that, frankly, I don't actually care if you like or don't like what I said, or if you think that I can or cannot run the show for the GOP. I can. More importantly is that it's so broken that the people, this is how you know they want to keep it broken. Britta Horn resigned from the Colorado GOP in disgrace, has run it into the ground, has created all of this debt. But the GOP was never designed to have someone with talents and abilities run it. So let me read this to you. I said, good morning. It's not difficult to see the broken Colorado GOP, state GOP, for what it is. You have leftist Puritans acting as the mean girls, political consultants, who have never accomplished anything in their miserable lives, hiding behind others while throwing arrows and choosing representatives set up to fail, to put the last nail in an already dead corpse of the party. Being the state chair is a thankless job. Most of the past chairs had zero business sense and even less ability to lead a small group. They were chosen to bring the party to its knees and control the people. Like Dave Williams or not, I do. He left the party in better shape than when he left it. Operating with restraint, which I did not agree with, and managing the chaos between them better than most. Britta Horn was never there to fix it. She was there to finish it off, and she almost did. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Victor was right about one thing. The Democrats infiltrated the party, and he would know. He miraculously became Republican just recently. The uniparty selfish pariahs have destroyed everything that is good. I'm not going to come in and keep the status quo. I will strip it down, surround myself with a team of talented warriors, and recruit young people who have a thirst for service and leadership. I will relegate the clowns of the party to court gestures and set in place ROEs that push out those that can't focus on the issue we face as a state holistically. We will raise money, put legacy revenue generating models in place, find candidates, and become the biggest lobbyist group in the state. We will zero in on technology, build an office that serves as innovation hub for the state. We will bring in 64 counties, all 64 counties to the table as stakeholders, and we will build an organization that is desirable to belong to. We will close our primaries, never giving those on the outside a voice in what candidates the party supports. Yet we will create rules that stop mean girl politics to exist so that independent, even ethical Democrats want to join. Be a constant asshole and you are out. We will build bridges to the communities, ask the people what they need, and prioritize based on those needs. We will restate the mission of the party, create alliances to churches, aligned groups, and businesses that allow us to truly represent the interests of the people. We will win. Now, over the next couple of weeks, you'll have those same Democrat Puritans scream, "Not Joe." So, okay, let's examine that. I built a company from a cocktail napkin to tens of millions in revenue, all without outside capital or debt. I have put my money where my mouth is, serving the most vulnerable among us. I've given up my time, my resources, and my life to many who spit on the sacrifice from the sidelines. I've raised 2 exceptional children, been married a long time, and come from a place that most could never imagined to get to where I could never imagine to get where I am today. Many people have tried to take, sabotage, steal, and destroy what I've built over the years. I had no fraternity or group to lean into, so I had to fight tooth and nail for nearly 35 years. I've never seen a fight I didn't like, and I despise with everything in me bullies and liars, so I punched back more than a few times. Almost entirely the fights that I have been in were for others. I understand how weak cowards operate, and over the last 6 years, I now know many times the enemy is among us, smiling, nodding, and disgustingly planning to divide and destroy. Yet I've also learned that people are mostly good and also naive. The good people sit on the sidelines confused by the chaos, basically looking for a signal on what truth really is. So here's what I'll tell you. By the time we are done, we will have a functional organization with donor confidence like never before. We will have young blood and mission-focused teams that are paid. I personally will not take any pay, but we will create an environment where our party does not operate from a position of indentured servitude with a pledge to poverty or great personal sacrifice to serve the community. We will lean into the organizations and businesses that share our values, and we will make the party great again. Remember, but God, head up, eyes forward. And so here's what I'm saying when I put this up. I put this up and said, we have to run it like a business. And so I said I was going to run for GOP chair, and I call out the rot in the GOP in Colorado. It caused a chain reaction to Sharona Bishop. We've talked about Sharona Bishop before. She's the one that got involved with Tina Peters. She, the hairdresser, the famous hairdresser that moved to Texas and has been interfering with Colorado politics since. A person that has slandered me relentlessly slandered me. Her and her husband Neil both relentlessly slandered me in ways that frankly are just not even normal. Told people, I've had people call me, send me recordings of Sharona Bishop telling them things about me that are absolute nonsense. Getting involved with Mike Lindell. And look, I've been trying to go through the process of, is she the next one to sue for slander? Is she the next one? And I get this paper in the mail that said, oh, I think Sharona Bishop is trying to sue you. So I was like, all right, let's figure it out. Because I want to drag Mike Lindell in. I want to drag everybody in. I want to make sure that it is the biggest case so we can get to the bottom of Sharona Bishop. Because I think it needs to happen. So I don't know, nobody served me anything. They just sent me this paper saying we can represent you in Texas. I pray I get the opportunity to literally dig into Sharona Bishop and her little group. I pray that I do. It'd be fun. But she decided to get in the middle of this and put up this post, which is the craziest thing I ever have seen. Tonight, the Colorado RNC woman, Christy Ruckus, she runs the GOP down in Pueblo, by the way, who I have zero respect or regard for, calling me screaming about how unnecessary it was for me to get involved myself in Colorado GOP matters, especially upcoming assembly. The amazing thing was I had zero intentions of being involved. Now I've changed my mind. And I think about this and go, this is what you have. You have the carnivore barkers, and this person that, the reason why Tina is in prison is because of Sharona Bishop. All the things that happened with Tina Peters, everything related to Tina Peters, the chain of events that happened were all related to Sharona Bishop. And now she's coming back into Colorado politics to cause more of a stir. She got involved in the Colorado GOP chair last time. She's doing it again. I pray, I'm going to say it right now. I pray, Sharona, that I get a chance to see you in court. I pray I do. I don't care how much money I have to spend. I just do not care. I do not care. The amount of anger that I have towards you and what you have done is going and raising money on using Tina's name and doing the things that you did are absolutely disgusting. And by the way, every time you put up a post where you came after me, I made sure I screenshotted all that too. So I'm praying that I get an opportunity to stand in front. I pray that I can drag in other parties that I can sue in the middle of this too. From Mike Lindell all the way down. I'll pull everybody in. Let's just have a party. Because I am done. I am done being nice to people who have done nothing but crap and destroy everything that is good about Colorado and then run away and act like, oh, I had nothing to do with it. So, I got a big plan that I'm going to put out there. I'll let you guys actually see it as well. I'm going to put this video up so I can show you a connection to it. But this is You have this Rabbi Shmuley. He's the one that, I mean, he's like a synagogue of Satan guy, right? This is a really evil person. And you're going to see how evil he is. First of all, imagine being such a blatant liar that you're willing to lie on video, knowing that you're being videoed, but lie so specifically about, and you could, look, if you're a Zionist and you're watching me, I saw, okay, right? Again, I accept you where you are, not where I want you to be, but we shouldn't be out there indiscriminately killing people, period. And especially not for people that were created by the Rothschilds that, frankly, there's this other thing that's happening with Netanyahu. If you haven't seen it, he admitted some pretty bad things on video. But here's Shmuley and Rabbi Shmuley, the rabbi that is basically sells sex toys and porn, but play it.
Rabbi Shmuley is a Zionist fucking pig. Get this. Here he is, right on camera. Hi, everybody. I have no problem saying it. Rabbi Shmuley.
Say your name.
I'm Salvo, baby. I have no problem saying
What's
it.
your phone number? Say it all.
Why would I give a Zionist?
Say it all. Say it all.
Zionist pig, relax. Why would I give a
Excuse me.
Why would I give?
Excuse me, officer. This man is attacking me.
I have it on video.
Right now.
I have it on video.
He's attacking you.
I have it on video.
He's attacking you.
Hate crime. He's threatening me.
I called him a Zionist. I didn't
He
touch him.
came over to me and I filmed the
I have it on video. I have it on video. I just talked to him. I didn't touch him.
My
Very
life.
well
No, I
done.
didn't.
He has to be arrested, please.
I have it on video.
Please,
no, I didn't.
he has to be arrested.
They know who you are, bro.
Please, sir, he has to be arrested.
Rabbi
Let me
Shmuley,
get the whole thing,
what
get the
happened
whole
to
thing.
dialogue?
Let's see if the
What
NYPD
happened to dialogue,
takes
Rabbi
this hate crime
Shmuley? Is this your
seriously.
husband? You let him in the street acting such a fool every time, huh?
Debbie, bring it here. This is what happened to me at the Fountain Blue Hotel. I won't put up with it.
Rabbi
This
Shmuley,
man
why are
is
you
threatening
lying?
me. He is harassing
Rabbi
me.
Shmuley,
He's
why are
guilty
you
of a hate
lying?
crime, and now let's see if the NYPD.
Rabbi Shmuley, I have it on video right here.
I was doing a video about this is about anti-Semitism.
I'm doing
This
a video
We're in the
too.
middle of an intermission. This man came over.
I was at the play
attacked
too.
me, harassed me. He already called us fucking Jews upstairs. I have a woman who
No, I
witnessed
didn't.
it.
No, I
You
didn't.
called
I'm
us
with my-
fucking Jews.
I'm
as
with
we
my
left,
wife over there.
and he just attacked me.
I
My name
have
is
it on
Rabbi
video.
Shmuley Boteches. He will tell you.
They know who you are, Rabbi Shmuley. They know who you are, Rabbi Shmuley. You're making
He attacked me, and this is a hate crime.
You're making a scene, Rabbi
He
Shmuley.
attacked me, and this is a hate crime. Now, why did you walk over to me? Tell him. Why did you walk over to me? What did you say? Why did you
Yes,
walk
sir.
over to me? What did you say?
I said you're a Zionist.
No, you said I'm an effing Zionist. You started attacking.
I'm allowed to swear at
my
you.
Safety.
I'm a,
threat-
no, I
you are
didn't.
threatening my safety.
No, I didn't.
You invaded my personal space to harm me.
I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to say he's a Zionist pig. I'm allowed to say he's a Zionist pig.
My identity, but I want him to separate.
Why do you escalate, Rabbi Shmuley? Why do you escalate? Why do you escalate, Rabbi Shmuley?
Officer, Jews have to be safe in New York City.
Sir, I have freedom of speech. Sir,
Jews cannot be attacked because they weren't people. If someone's black and they're attacked, that's racist.
Rabbi Shmuley completely losing his mind.
It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. I can call him a Zionist. It's freedom of speech. We're not in Israel. I got it all on video if you want to see it. What happened? I know him. I was at the play too with my wife. You were at that? Yes. I know who he is. He's a Zionist. I saw he was filming a video saying, in my opinion, a bunch of hateful things, right?
But where was that video being taken?
Just right here.
To you or like?
No, his wife was filming him, and I just went up and filmed him and called him a Zionist, and that's when he ran to you guys right away. And I can show it to you.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Okay, listen to me just for a minute. This guy runs in the street and tells him he's being attacked, and it's a hate crime to call him a Zionist pig. I can't. Now I'm gonna tell you why this is important. Bullies in the state of Colorado have literally ruled the roost for so long. Vicki Tompkins was the GOP chair down in Colorado Springs. She was the only black chair in the country. And the amount of racism and the amount of just things that they did to Vicki Tompkins when she was the GOP chair for 4 years for the El Paso County, third largest county, by the way, in the country. She's a GOP chair. She was unpaid. If you knew the things that they said about Vicki, it would blow your mind. She was treated with not just disrespect, but It was racist. It showed you a part of the party that, frankly, was absolutely disgusting. So there's this guy, Tyler Sandberg. He's a part of that Mean Girls crew, the one that has gone after people like Anil, who is in another county. These are bullies. These are really bad people. These are bad people that are afraid that they're losing their grip on the party itself. And over the last 20 years, they have run the party into the GOP in the state of Colorado. The state GOP does not have an office. It doesn't have an office. It does not have a physical office in the state. And the money that has come in for the GOP at the state level has gone to an attorney to pay an attorney's fees to represent the person that's the chair who's now resigning against a lawsuit that happened in the party before she was there. $260,000. Every dollar that's come in has gone out to other people, but not to get people elected, nobody, two vice chairs resigned, and it's in total turmoil. These are the same people. The Tyler Sandberg are the same people. So let me just show you this post. I thought Dave Williams would go down as the worst GOP chair in state history, but Joe Oltmann would take that crown. I know it's the most thankless task in all of Colorado politics, but I sure hope a rational and normal Republican steps up to run. Don't stick us with this psycho. And quotes Kyle Clark, the guy that literally is being run out, that no one in the Republican Party likes. And I'm a psycho. Run a successful business. Let me just give you a little bit of a background behind me. I've been married a long time. I have 2 beautiful kids that are grown. I don't owe anybody any money. I've came forward 6 years ago, so I'm new to the game of having to deal with pariahs like this. So I responded, and he didn't like it. Because I always respond to people who want to just create a narrative that's not true. So put it up. I said, oh boy, not sure who this peach is. Let's do the math, shall we? GOP is on life support. The radical left has completed the destruction of the state of Colorado, and now it'd be the worst thing for the state, and I'd be the worst thing for the state as chair. They attacked me for uncovering the election fraud, calling out the groomers, standing up for the COVID scam, calling out satanic leadership, and protecting children. Now I'm the wrong pick for chair. I literally cannot be slandered any more than I have been. Nah, let's put up the satanic skinhead drug-addicted man who wrote about raping his wife, dragging her around and peeing on her like a dog, Antifa guy, as the poster child for being misunderstood. Let's put Tina in jail and let the radical left continue to run the Republican Party by proxy. Yeah, F off, Tyler, you cowardly bitch. I'm past the part where I pretend we are not at war with trash. You cannot like what I just said. Well, Victor Marx started going on the attack to attack me. Now, I've already dropped out of the race. He wanted to go attack me. And let's play it. Let's play. This is Victor Marx. This is a guy running for governor. Now, we leaked to Victor Marx that I was going to be getting out of the race. We leaked it to him. Now, he went on this deal and showed this video and said, I'm going to make this $1,000 bet. And I said this, and I'll put it up here now. You're a 7th degree jiu-jitsu black belt. 7th degree. That's what you said. That's by your own words, you said it. Let's get on a mat. We'll do it for the same $1,000. Okay? I mean, you're a 7th degree jiu-jitsu. I didn't do jiu-jitsu. I wrestled. So let's just go get on a mat, and winner takes all. Pretty simple. I'll pay $1,000 to you. That'll go going in your pocket, right? Because you're a 7th degree jiu-jitsu black belt. Let's do that. But anyway, let's play this video.
So, with everybody that's in the field, who do you think is going to be the one that's going to be the most difficult that you're going to end up against?
I think Barb Kirkmeyer, she turned in signatures. I believe she'll be on the ballot for the primary. And I think I will easily defeat her. Just simply because, as someone said, she is a great, probably the best candidate for the 90s. I'm not saying that mean. I'm going to make this prediction right here. I haven't ever said this on camera, but Scott Bottoms and Joe Oltmann, they're actually working together. Joe Oltmann has he's truly not running for governor. But I challenged Joe to stay in the race all the way through, and Scott, all the way through Assembly. I'll challenge him $1,000 right now that if he drops out, he can give $1,000 to my favorite charity. If he stays in and keeps his word of running for governor, then I'll give $1,000 to his favorite charity.
So he put the video up, and he and said that I would be the worst pick for the Colorado chair. I run a successful set of businesses. I've seen failure. I know what it looks like. I've built lots of companies. I know what it looks like to have somebody walk you off a cliff too. And I was on Ryan Schuling's show this morning walking through this. And here's somebody asked me a question. They're like, Joe, do you have to stay neutral through the primary? And a friend of mine who's been in the Colorado politics for a long time, I had lunch with him and Peter Boyles, who, by the way, I've become friends with. It's Peter didn't like me. For years, he hated me. He would openly say he hated me. And I got on his show and talked to him, and we talked, and then I went on his show for 3 hours, and after it, he's like, we're gonna be friends. That's kind of the effect I have on people. So if people hate me and they spend any time with me, then they start removing the things like Kyle Clark, which is really dangerous, and other people's slander of me. And you just get to know me. It's really simple. Now, I'm brutally honest. You might not like it, but I will tell you the truth. So John Tig-Tigan is a good friend. He's not just a friend. He is one of my closest friends. I would do anything for Tig. Tig was in Benghazi. He was one of the guys that sat on a roof and protected Americans. There's a movie about him, 13 Hours. There's a movie or a book called 13 Hours that he did as well. But he's a stud. And when things started popping off in 2020, him and I got together and I was like, I am my brother's keeper, let's go. And we walked shoulder to shoulder. We should walk shoulder to shoulder for years fighting Antifa, doing everything we can to help the community, giving back. I spent countless millions of dollars building up FEC United, helping with UADF, really being with my brother, making sure that we could go do things so we could protect the community from being burned down. We did that. See, the Antifa only got one night in Denver. After that, we got on the streets and we stopped it. But he put up this post in response to it to go after because of Victor Mark's attack on me. He said, I was really trying to stay positive and out of the political personal attacks between candidates, but standing shoulder to shoulder with Joe and personally getting hit by a car during that period, I felt I had to on this. Victor Marks is clueless about what has been happening on the ground in Colorado for the last decade. At least Joe Oltmann stood up and fought for Colorado when it mattered most. During the brutal COVID lockdowns, Joe risked his own reputation and his business, which employs hundreds of Coloradans, to push back against government overreach. He organized and funded rallies at the Capitol demanding our freedoms back, while businesses were being crushed. Parents were getting arrested for taking their kids to the park, and families were forced to watch loved ones die alone through a glass window, banned from funerals and hospital rooms. I personally lost thousands of dollars a month myself for standing up. I took a real personal and financial hit for Colorado, and I would do it again without hesitation. Where were you, Victor? That is not grift. That is real courage. That is putting Colorado families first when the state government went too far. Where were you when all the influence, where were you with all your influence when Denver and Colorado Springs were being torn apart, businesses were being destroyed, and neighbors were being attacked in their homes by BLM and Antifa rioters? Where was your voice when parents were arrested in parks, businesses were shut down, and families suffered? Joe and I were on the streets physically protecting our communities, our cities, and our people. We did not just talk about it from a safe distance. We showed up. But now you want to stand up and criticize others, people you know absolutely nothing about, who they are or what they've done. You criticize Joe for dropping out of the governor's race and possibly looking at the state party chair position. That isn't politics. It's messy, and candidates drop out or shift focus all the time. Attacking him as not serious about Colorado shows how little you understand the battles have been fought here for years. For someone who only started voting in 2020, you seem quick to lecture lifelong Coloradans and veterans who have been in the fight the whole time. Do some actual research on what real grassroots resistance looks like in this state before you call others unserious. What you have done for the people of Colorado during those dark years, what have you done for those people of Colorado during those dark years right here at home? Your overseas rescue missions are admirable, but they do not replace standing with your Colorado neighbors when our own state government was locking us up and letting our cities burn. Joe has put skin in the game for Colorado conservatives when it was costly and unpopular. Real leadership is not just about fundraising numbers or polished speeches. It's about fighting for the people when the heat is on. Colorado Republicans deserve leaders who understand the struggles we have faced here at home, not outsiders throwing stones from the sidelines. I want to say this. I put up a post in response to Victor, and now that I think about it, I go, you know what? I think I'm now trying to hammer a nail in a coffin that is already nailed in. So I don't really need to talk about Victor Marx anymore. I think the people of Colorado are going to have to figure it out. And the reality of it is that I have all of the skills and all of the ability, and I have a 90-day plan and a 1-year plan to be the state chair. And I'm stepping in and saying I'm not going to take any money for it, but I'm going to build an organization that does pay its people. And the state apparatus should be paid people. The Democrat Party's all paid. They should be paid people. And then the county chairs should all get paid. And he's like, how do you do that? You convince people that this is the sexiest thing ever. That's why John and I are so important. We want to flip the script. I want to give people an opportunity to have a people's party and to set aside people like this Tyler guy who says I'm crazy. Like, I'm crazy. I got a podcast that reaches millions of people every month. I'm in the top 0.1% of podcasts globally. I run successful businesses. I've been married for over 20 years. And you tell me that I'm the crazy one. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't like porn. I don't know of another person that would make the sacrifices I'm making. And it's frankly not healthy for me. But I do it because I think God has told me that this is the path you have to be on. Now, did he come down in a burning bush and could I be reading it wrong? I probably could. And unselfishly, if I wanted to be unselfish, I could literally just disconnect from all of it and walk away. But unfortunately, when you see people being hurt by bullies and liars and thieves, you really can't. You can't walk away. It's defining. Never let evil win. Now, here's the post that I put up about Victor Marx in response to Victor Marx. Victor Marx can't help himself never interrupt evil when it's in the process of destroying itself. Victor Marx is a pathetic coward. Thank you to my brother John Teagan for sticking up for me. Victor wants me to stay in, Joe, I'll pay you $1,000. Victor went from stay in, Joe, I'll pay you $1,000 to Joe is bad for the GOP. True story. He wanted me to stay in, and then all of a sudden, no, I'm bad for the GOP. And that shows you everything you need to know about Victor Marx, Vaughn Kennedy, whatever you want to call him. We're in real trouble in Colorado, and one of the things that somebody told me is that in D.C., they think Colorado is fundamentally broken. It's unsavable on both sides of the aisle. And I told someone that's the high up that was in Republican politics, I was like, it's not broken. Just hand me the reins, get out of my way for the next couple months. I'll organize Republicans to come in. We'll build an office. We'll do the things that are necessary, and we'll win some positions in Colorado. We will do what you don't think is possible. But you have to get rid of these people that have basically destroyed and hamstrung and have crippled the Republican Party in the state of Colorado. They've crippled it. The mean girls, The really, really crappy mean girls. So then I want to put up this last part. I hate it that people in Colorado know that I do my podcast right now and they're still trying to call me. I'm literally on a podcast. Okay. We have this, which is 7 former Jenna Griswold staffers went public for bullying, retaliation, abuse, and used NDAs to cover it up. This Jenna Griswold is the one that stole the elections, was deeply tied to Phil Weiser, who is tied to the Christopher Gregory case, the largest corruption and bribery case in the history of Colorado, which is also tied to to Jared Polis, who's kind of the ringleader in all this. She's also the one that lied about arguing a case before the Supreme Court, which she never did. These letters, go ahead and post it if you would. Just post it on my socials so we can have access to it. This is the reason why we do this in the state. It's the reason why John does what he does. And I'm more closely related to John than I am anything else. I mean, he certainly is my brother from another mother. We are a cesspool of fraudsters and cowards. It's a cesspool. So when someone strong comes in and says, hey, here's how we're going to do it, they want to shut it down. They want to stop you from being able to speak. All right, I don't have anything else. I think I got my point across. Yeah. I'm gonna read you this that I put up on socials too. And I want you to think about this. So when I get pissed off about things, it's pretty straightforward. But you have people that are now apologizing and saying Scott Bottoms is separating himself from Joe, which is not the case, because Joe cusses. Imagine that. You'll go see a movie and see it. You'll allow children to get groomed. You'll allow people to go out on the streets after raping a 6-year-old kid. You won't show any rage. You'll get mad at me for using the word retard and for cussing at people that frankly deserve to be cussed at. But you won't, that as long as you can control speech, as long as you can be the arbiter of what it is that civility looks like, then we're okay. Everything's fine. Well, I challenge you. I challenge you to use that same sort of drive to be tactical about not just judging everyone else and saying, I don't want Joe to do this, I don't want Joe to that. You don't get to control me. You don't want to listen to me hit the off button. I'm good with it. But don't sit here and tell me somewhere along the line that you get to be selectively able to judge me. Don't do it. So this is what I wrote. I see the selective rage of me punching back at bullies that run around socials treating people terribly without any accountability. When I punch back, they act like victims. I'm not one to allow bad people to act with impunity. Much of it I ignore, but sometimes I grow tired of it. Listen, the days of the mean girls and clowns lying and defaming others without a punchback are over. We are in a perpetual free fall because losing gracefully and quietly is considered noble, while scrapping is considered barbaric. By who? Who makes the rules? And why is it the weak cowards that say this is not stately? Not because it is rightly justified, but because they are weak and pathetically getting called out for being on Team Evil somehow makes them the victim of someone punching them back. I'm over the civility only when evil trash says let's be civil. I'm all about being civil, but I'm not going to allow bullies and retards to speak freely when muzzling the responses behind the shroud of victimology. Not interested. Neither should you. One of the things I appreciate about President Trump is that he calls trash trash and evil evil. We people hate him for it. I admire him for it. It's just my way of saying this. I am who I am. I am perfectly imperfect. I am going to pray at the end of this show, and I am sure that I used a curse word or two. And frankly, I only want to run the Colorado GOP because I can fix it. And I can fix it quick. And if the Colorado GOP doesn't choose me, if the SEC doesn't choose me, and they choose to go with another milquetoast candidate that walks these party lines because they're deathly afraid of me figuring out where the bodies are buried, then you deserve what you get. You have one party in the state of Colorado. It is called the Democrat Party. And underneath that, it is the Democrat Socialists of America. And they have the bully pulpit and use people like Kyle Clark and other people to try and convince you that the guy that can fix it is the guy you should run away from because, frankly, he uses mean words. I've been fighting for 6 years. Like me or hate me, I don't care. My job is very simple. Go in, fix it, give people back opportunities, and then go and recruit young people by the droves that can come in and do some pretty courageous things. There's a reason why we recruit kids at 18 years old to come into the military. We want to mold them. We want to make them warriors. We want to send them out there so they can defend and protect our people. Well, if that's the goal of 18 to 25-year-olds, then why the hell don't we have 18 to 25-year-olds that we hand the reins to in the state of Colorado? We don't do it. We relegate them to the young Republicans and push the door open and tell them, stand outside and wait your turn. I'm out. My company has grown by embracing young people. And if you want to grow ethically and morally in our society, you're going to need young people. So that's all I got. All right, so Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and more. We are everywhere. Come see us wherever you see us. I will be still all over the state of Colorado. I got a couple things that are coming up. Let's take a look at these comments for a minute. I was just listening. Not everyone looked at the screen, so I'm very sorry. I don't know what that's about. You had me worried like it was SOS or something. Christians not vote in Colorado. Christians vote in Colorado. If Christian conservatives in Colorado would vote, we would win. We could win. Mean Girls equals Britta, Heidi, Bart. No. Listen. John Lyon, let me explain something to you. Don't put Heidi in that. Don't put Barb in that. Britt is just not competent to do the job. So I think we have to be really careful what we say, good or bad. She was the choice for the weak and pathetic people that have been nothing but bullies and trying to tell people that they have to take it in a certain direction. The Tylers. The Tylers picked Britta. Tyler picked Britta. Destroyed it. Closed the office. Yeah, Scott does not judge people. He is respected by gays and consumers. Yeah, I know them well. I know Rich really well. Good dude. Super good dude. I don't know what you're putting up there, Gammy. I can't read it. Gammy, you're bragging again. I don't know what that means. Need to get Scott Shamblin in your lineup. Okay. Got it. All right. Well, like I said, I told you where to find us. Let's go ahead and pray us out. Father God, thank you for the opportunity to be here. And thank you for the beatings that I regularly get to take. They're so fun. And thank you for the people that have stood by me, and I'm very grateful for them. Very grateful. Thank you for the time that we've had on the show. Thank you for the journey that we've had over the last 6 years. Help us, Father, that we can get to a place where we can recognize winning. There's so much. There's so much to talk about related to what winning means. So I bring it down to restoration, just restoring you to every part of our society and get rid of this craziness we have to deal with on a regular basis. Help us, Father, that we may be patient with each other while also standing tall, that we may lift up the sword when needed. I ask you, Father, to bless John as he does the things that he does in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, that you give him the strength and the courage to carry on and to speak truth at all times. Thank you again, Father, for just putting us in a place where we can save the nation. I say these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. Hasta mañana, Jeff. See you later. Susan, good to see you. Always good to see you. And I'll see you guys on pilled.net. I saw all your comments. Thank you very much. We're going to be doing more with Pilled here in a little bit. It might be the place that I have moved things. Rumble, still don't know what you're doing. You just erased over the weekend another 140 people that were followers. So kind of a weird set of events, don't you think? You keep people from watching it, and then, yeah, you're just and as a pretty significant shareholder, I think that you probably should not do that. But anyway, take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Rise up untamed in the heart of the fire where the wild ones roam. Joe Oltmann's calling, bringing truth back home. From conservative daily to this untamed fire, we shatter the silence, lifting spirits higher. No chains can hold us, no lies can prevail. Authentic and fearless on this rugged trail. Patriots gather under stars and stripes. Untamed nation, igniting the night. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Untamed nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave belong. Yeah, untamed and wild, forever strong. Play it again all night long. Break the mold, chase the real. No more games, time to heal. Joe's voice leads the untamed crew. Truth matters through and through. Untamed nation, let the truth roll out in this land of the free. Standing proud from sea to shining sea, we won't back down. Catch the fire, wear the crown. Tame nation, it's our battle song, motivating hearts where the brave